Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective. Happy Tuesday. I am running a little behind today. I know. I'm telling you, this cold is jacking me up. Oh, it's driving me crazy. But anyways, we're here. Let's do this. We are on number 10. Day 10. Well, number 10. Lesson 10 of 60 of getting into the vortex, or in translation, getting into self-awareness. But I'm going to start with the inspiration cards. Good morning, older sibling. So, let's see. My cousin Jeannie gave me these on 2 birthdays ago. And it's funny because it says 50 inspirational quotes and stuff, and that's where I'm heading. That is where I'm heading. So, look how hard it is to shuffle these cute little things, but, actually, there's some sticking out right there, so let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, these are people. All right. So, all right. Well, 4 came out, so let's just do the 4, and then we'll get to our vortex card, or our self-awareness card. So, the first one I saw was Louisa May Alcott. She wrote Little Women. Far away in the sun, there in the sunshine, are my highest aspirations. I may not reach them, but I can look up and see their beauty, believe in them, and try to follow where they lead. So, I would like to say that you will reach your aspirations, but even if you don't, keep heading down that path, right? This is what she's saying. I mean, come on, she existed over 100 years ago, and she's telling us the same message that we try to get through our heads even now. So, let's see. Oops. I don't know how I managed to do that, but I got lipstick on her. Oh. And now I dropped it. I'm telling you guys, this is the morning of all mornings. Good Lord. All right, well, I'm going to have to try to get it a little bit later, but, all right, so that was Louisa May Alcott. Rosa Parks. Huge historical figure. I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Knowing what must be done does away with the fear. So again, I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Knowing what must be done does away with the fear. There's a quote that says, courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment or assessment that there is something bigger and more important than fear. And this is basically what she's saying. That she's learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes their fear, and they know what must be done. Knowing what must be done does away with the fear. And for anybody not familiar with Rosa Parks, if you're watching from somewhere else, or, she's a pretty big global figure, but, she was huge during the civil rights movement. She was told to move on the bus, and she refused to give up her seat to a white person. Go Rosa Parks. So, because that's where equality starts. When you have to stand up for what you believe in, you have to fight for what you believe in, and you have to really kind of put aside that fear when there's something that you truly believe in, because bad things can happen. She got arrested. She went to jail. And I don't think she was there that long, but the point is whoever knows what happened there. I mean, this is not a safe place and all those things. So, very good quote from Rosa Parks. 2 more, and then we'll get to the vortex cards. Good morning, baby sibling. So, Joseph Campbell. If you can see your path laid out in front of you step by step, you know it's not your path. Your own path you make with every step you take. That's why it's your path. Okay, that took me a second. If you can see your path laid out in front of you step by step, you know it's not your path. Your own path you make with every step you take. That's why it's your path. I think what he's getting at here is, I'm just going to go, I'm not going to say newer parents, but I mean, back in the old days, it's like everybody had an expectation for their child, and they still do. There are still some people out there like that have these expectations for their children, what they want them to do, who they should be, what they should be. And I think what he's saying there is that if your path is laid out before you, it's not your path. It's something maybe. Now, I'm not saying that this is, I mean, this card can actually go two ways, because I have a nephew who's pretty much got his path planned out. And I mean, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to go. This is my backup. This is this, and that. He's 11. All right. And he started planning this when he was 10, maybe even earlier. But I started hearing about it when he was 10. But the point is that, we can put, this step-by-step path in front of us. But a lot of times these paths are planned for us by other people. And if it's planned for us by other people and it doesn't look like it's a path you want to take, just remember that you are your own person. And every step you take is your path. All right. And lastly, Neil Gaiman. Excellent, excellent writer. Go and make interesting mistakes. Make amazing mistakes. Make glorious and fantastic mistakes. Break rules. Leave the world more interesting for you being here. Make good art. I like that. Good morning, baby bear. I like that a lot. Go and make interesting mistakes, amazing mistakes, glorious and fantastic mistakes. Break rules. Leave the world more interesting for your being here. Make good art. Neil Gaiman. Wow. So he is actually the, for anybody not familiar with Neil Gaiman, some of his more famous works have been made into TV shows as of late. Sandman, Lucifer, American Gods, all those. But there's a lot more that he's written, and I'm discovering them all, and some of them aren't even in print right now. So it's like, But anyways, so, he steps out of the box, and I love it. So remember, if you make a mistake, it's okay. Okay? It's all right, because mistakes are how we learn. There are lessons in life. So let's see. Number 10 of getting into self-awareness / getting into the vortex. I like this card. It's very fancy. I like the purple in it too. The essence of my every desire can be fulfilled. Now, for anybody that may have missed yesterday's show, I really kind of pointed out that there's a theme in this, and the theme is the law of attraction. The theme is the universe. But again, if the universe, the law of attraction, these things are not your jam, then just look to it as, replacing the universe with your higher power, whoever your higher power is. I walk with them hand in hand. I think they complement each other very well, my spirit table and the universe. And but remember, the whole point of this is that regardless of whether you believe in the law of attraction or not, it believes in you. Okay? So when you put out a bad vibration and you are consistently putting out a bad vibration, what's going to happen? What's going to come to you? You're going to sit there and go, why are all these bad things happening? And then maybe something amazing happens for you, right? Something good happens. And all of a sudden you see everything changing, like, oh my God, this is so great. Everything's all better. La, la, la. Think about your moods. Think about the mood. Think about the vibration you're putting out. That if you were putting out something that's negative, that's what you're going to get back. The universe doesn't discern between, what you want and what you don't want. It's going to say, oh, I'm reading this vibration, so here you go. Here. I don't want green beans tonight. Here's your only plate of green beans. It's all we're having for dinner. Here's your bowl of peas. Enjoy. Peas. All the squishy foods. Anyways. So again, the essence of my every desire can be fulfilled. You have to trust and believe. I have to say, I did not know what today's card was going to be because I haven't really looked at these cards, but everything matches. Card, makeup, shirt. So, sorry. That's my cold talking. Actually, it's probably not. All right, let me get back to this. Sorry. If your time, space, reality has the wherewithal to inspire a desire within you, it is your absolute promise to you that your time, space, reality has the ability to deliver in full manifested form the reality of the desire it has inspired. The essence of any and all desires can be fulfilled unless you are holding yourself out of alignment with your own desire. The feeling of competition or shortage or limitation of resources means you are out of alignment with your own desire. Oh my God, that was me yesterday. Where was this card yesterday? To remind me to not worry, to not freak out, to not sit there and go, oh man. To just be a good human and do nice things for people. I tell you. I could have used this card yesterday. I totally had. Hangry was on the bingo card yesterday, and it won the bingo. So it was not good. But yeah, I just sometimes, no matter how far we move forward or how many steps we take forward, we sometimes have these bad habits that just come chasing us. And sometimes they tackle us from behind and we don't see it coming. We're just kind of like, what the hell happened? What the fuck was that? And you're laying on the ground all dizzy thinking, shit, what just happened? These things can happen, but how you get up off of that ground after you've been tackled is what's important. Do you flip out and do exactly what this old habit of yours used to do? Or you just get up, shake yourself off, and move forward. Going, okay, well, that happened. I chose the wrong one yesterday. And I got tackled by an old trigger right after I had this great perspective. And I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but it was a pretty good one yesterday. But right after I had this great perspective, and I just did everything opposite of what I was saying in these cards. And for like just a brief moment in time, it probably was not that brief, but if, in retrospect, in a brief moment in time, I lost my mind. I lost my shit. I started worrying about everything. I started getting angry over things. And it's like, this is not the person I want to be anymore. This is not the person I am. And so these are our choices. I was worried about so much stuff. My morning kind of got set off in the wrong direction. And instead of pivoting and saying, okay, let's just take a deep breath and we'll think about this in a second, I leaned into it. And I should not have leaned into it because that's where it festered. That's where it got bad. But fortunately, I was able to kind of flip myself around. I flipped a bitch. Literally, I was the bitch. I flipped the bitch. And I was able to kind of recover and kind of salvage the rest of the day. And so that was early on in the day. So the rest of the day was actually pretty decent. But, this is what I was talking about yesterday. When what happens if I trip and I fall? You get back up where you fell. Get back up where you fell and keep moving forward. Okay? Because if you lay there, the universe is just going to keep pelting you with all this crap that you're freaking out about, that you're worried about, that you're angry about. But if you get up, it's going to walk with you. Because like I said, it doesn't discern between what you want and what you don't want. And that was yesterday's card. When you're putting out there your intention, your manifestation, your prayer, make sure it's something that you want. When you have all those little icky feelings coming up or all those little icky thoughts that are trying to hold you back and say, no, don't do it. Don't listen to them. Okay, I mean, that Neil Gaiman card was perfect. Make mistakes. Make glorious mistakes. Make fantastic mistakes. Make good art. Even if you're not an artist by definition, making good art, it's being a good parent. It's being a good family member. It's being, beautiful things. It's being a teacher to somebody. Even if you're not a teacher, it's showing the world what they're capable of. And when you do that, the universe is going to hear you. It is going to see you. Your higher powers are going to hear you. They're going to see you. And they will, I guess for lack of a better word, reward you. But these are things that you've earned. These are things that you have brought to yourself. That's why, I'm not really keen on using the word reward, because these are the things that you have created, that you have garnered for yourself. I mean, if you put out the bad juju and you're going to get it back, I mean, what kind of reward is that, right? It's like coal in your stocking, or someone leaving a bag of, a fire bag of poo on your porch. It's that kind of stuff. So, as it says here, if your time and space reality has the wherewithal to inspire a desire within you, it is your absolute promise to you that your time-space reality has the ability to deliver it. In full manifested form, the reality of the desire it has inspired. The essence of any and all desires can be fulfilled unless you are holding yourself out of alignment with your own desire. The feeling of competition or shortage or limitation of resources means you are out of alignment with your own desire. Okay, I'm going to go back. I hate constantly bringing this up because it feels like a broken record. But I'm going to go back to what I was talking about yesterday. How I was talking about this great, TED talk I got from Victor on Saturday. And it also moved into like relationships and all these other things, and how you have a person out there. And I was talking about how in previous perspectives, I would sit there and I'd be very convincing going, I know there's somewhere out there for me. I know that it's going to happen. I know I'm going to find my forever person. And in the back of my head, I'm going, I'm going to die alone. Okay, that was part of the conversation yesterday, part of the perspective. That's what this is talking about. If and that's something small, right? I mean, because we might be talking about, yeah, I would like to have this in my life, or maybe I need a new car, or maybe I need some money to get this fixed or that fixed, or maybe I just want to win something big so that I can go on a vacation. All these different things that you might be trying to manifest, that you might be have these desires for, right? A lot of times we're taught that desire is bad. Desire is not bad. Okay, desire is not bad. If you take your good fortune and you bitch slap people with it, that's when it's bad. But if, oh yeah, well I have this and you don't have this, yeah, that's not good. But if you go out there and you enjoy your life and you're given all these wonderful things and you do something with it, and maybe you do something for other people too, because that's good luck. That's good karma. When you have, you give. Doesn't mean you give it all away. But when you have, you could take someone to dinner, you could treat someone to coffee, just get someone out of the house, you could, it's just all these different things, right? There's nothing wrong with having desires. It's a passion for something. But if you don't believe that it can happen, it's not going to. And that's what this card is talking about. So in relation to the self-love journey that we just took, and using these cards, these 60 cards, to decorate that house of self-love, what do you want to bring into your house? Do you keep wanting to bring in negativity? Or do you want to bring in positivity? Because you can't say, oh, I have the most beautiful house, but bad things happen here. Bad things are always going to happen. We're human. We live on planet Earth, okay? Nothing is ever going to be super smooth, but it doesn't have to be as rough as we make it. I know sometimes we're going to hit rough patches and it's going to feel like we're just stuck in the mud, spinning our wheels. But eventually someone's going to come along, or you're going to have an idea and you're going to get out of that rut. Okay? You just have to keep moving forward. You have to keep trying. Don't keep spinning your wheels so that you get deeper and deeper in the mud, right? Find some leverage. Maybe find a person to talk to that you trust. And if you're in therapy, there you go. You have somebody already. But, if you don't, then find someone that you trust. Find someone that you can, lean into, that, and remember, sometimes people are going to come to you. We can't fix people, but we can listen. And if they do ask, well, what would you do? Think about your answer, because sometimes we get so mad at whatever they're talking about, and we get so protective of our people that we kind of go off to the deep end, and then we're not helpful. But sometimes when they ask, what would you do? Maybe flip it back. Well, I don't know. What would you do if this were my situation? How would you handle it if I were talking to you? Sometimes when we talk to people, we work through our own stuff. I mean, it takes me a while to do it. Poor older sibling sometimes just has to sit there and listen. And it's like, that's where we're going with this. I mean, I can go through 3 conversations before I finally get the point of what I was trying to hit. But she listens, and I am so grateful for that. I've had baby sibling do the same thing for me. But, it's just when you have somebody there that you trust, that you can just, reach out to and say, hey, I need an ear. I need someone to bounce. That's what I say. I need someone to bounce things off of. And you're realigning with yourself. You're realigning with your desire. And remember, like I said, depending how you're raised, I was raised a Catholic, and I have nothing, nothing against organized religions. It's just not for me. But that's their thing. I don't judge. But I was raised, and I've seen people in even more constricting religions. At one point someone I knew had me going to their church for a while, and I'm like, this is still not for me. It's like, I believe in God, but God and I, we got our thing. We got our own thing going. But they teach us that passion is bad, that, desire is bad. And like I said, I don't particularly believe that. I don't think it's bad to want things. I don't think it's bad to aim at goals. I think if you are messing and screwing up people around you to do it, that's the problem. You can't just be so hyper focused on one thing that you forget everything around you. But that's where, in a way, the universe comes in, you know, and we'll talk about it again. I told you that this is going to be a theme: the law of attraction, trusting, believing, manifestations, intentions, and prayers. This is going to be almost a daily theme because these are what these cards are dealing with. Getting into the vortex is getting into yourself. It's working on these relationships with yourself so that the relationships that you have with other people can blossom, can be these fulfilling things, or that if you do have a trip and a stumble in a relationship, you know how to pick yourself back up and maybe walk both of you through it. To let go of these negative things. I was reminded this weekend, stop hanging on to the negative things. Move forward. And I had just had this negative baggage with me for my entire life. Well, as long as I can remember. And so it became familiar, right? It's like having that whoopee that you've had or your binky that you've had since you were like a baby. I still have a gift that I was given when I think I was 1. And it's just this Disney sheet. And it was everything to me. It was a tent. It was a cape. It was everything. And right now it's folded up in my closet. But I love it because it was always mine, right? But that's a good thing that I carried with me. But there's all this other baggage that came along with me. And I realized I don't need that anymore. It was the wrong kind of anchor. We can have people that anchor us, that keep us in a good place. But when we're traveling alone, when we're on these boats of our own, and leaving the sea of misery, going through the wall of waves, ending up in the ocean of bliss, when we're sailing our own little boat, right? Sometimes that anchor is trying to hold us back. It's not letting us sail freely. It's not letting us do what we're meant to do. It's not, allowing us to show ourselves what we're capable of. And so when things hurt us, we'll throw these anchors down. And we'll keep them in place because maybe we want to be angry at something. Maybe we want to be hurt about something. Maybe we don't know any other feeling than, kind of sitting on that edge of happiness and feeling it just a little bit, right? But not completely. It's like standing inside of a home when the sun is shining and you're just at the edge where it's like you let your toes enjoy the sunlight, right? But you don't step fully into it, or you don't go outside to step fully into it. And that's what the anchor does. It makes you think that you're not worthy. It makes you think that you don't deserve it. It holds you back. It wants you to feel miserable. It wants you to feel sad and gloomy and upset and angry about things. If you have resolved in your heart, whatever situation you're going through, that everything is going to be okay, then just, if you can't do one day at a time, do one step at a time, do one moment at a time. But while you're taking that step forward, leave that baggage behind because it's not serving you. It's not doing anything for you. And I'm telling you, I'm going to be writing this conversation I had on Saturday for a couple of days because it made so much sense, and it's just, there was so much truth in it. It's like I said, it was like he just looked into my soul and said, here, let me free you. He was like the Moses of my soul. So thank you, baby sibling, for sharing your boo for a second. So, I could get the super TED talk, but that was the case. It was, that's a very insightful person. That's a person who has had some serious introspection, and you can tell because it wasn't coming from a place of, where sometimes like I'm talking, I really do try to be sincere because I don't want people to feel the way I feel. But here's the thing. While I am talking about this, and this is what he told me too, he's all, if you are going to share a message, you have to believe in it. And that's one thing I kept falling short of. I believed in my message, but I didn't think I was deserving of it. But I didn't want anyone else to feel like me, so I would share that message with everybody else in the hopes that it would help them. Meanwhile, I'd turn off I'd hit finish on the live and think, okay, now what? But that's changed. And yes, just like that. Sometimes you need that person who doesn't know you that well to just kind of shove you over that finish line. You know, that runner that's not paying attention and knocks you over it. Except this time, somebody stopped and said, you know what? You're not listening to your siblings. You know, you're not listening to your baby sibling. You're not listening to your sibling. You're not listening to people who give you, you know, who just randomly say things on your posts. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to walk you over this. And I'm going to show you that this side of the finish line is way better than where you were just standing. It's somebody taking your hand and guiding you into the sunlight, saying, let's go outside, not just by the window. I'm going to take you outside and I'm going to show you what this is all about. You know, and it was, I mean, I told baby sibling, I said, he has got to go on the circuit and start preaching all this stuff. He has got to start doing TED Talks and doing all, and telling people this stuff, because there is a lot of insightfulness in it, you know. And like I said, everything I say to you is genuine. It's from the heart. But the difference now is that I'm believing I'm deserving of this too. I'm believing I'm worthy of these feelings, of these, you know, these great things that I tell people they're deserving of. Feeling amazing, being great. You know, do that for the rest of the week, guys. Every time you go in there to brush your teeth, or every time you go to pee and you go to wash your hands, right? Or whatever you're doing in there and go to wash your hands. Look in the mirror. I love you. You're amazing. You're great. How awesome are you? You are super awesome. Give yourself all these wonderful, wonderful, you know, compliments. Make those your superpower. Make those positive traits your superpower. And every time a negative thing starts to come up, think of it as your kryptonite, right? You don't want Superman running around with kryptonite on his neck, because what does it do? It disables him. He can't do anything. It's like hitting the off button on Superman. Don't want to do that, right? Because he's Superman. I know, you're like, he's not real, but you see my point. It's a metaphor. Or, that was the other thing I love. He speaks in metaphors, and I totally speak in metaphors, so that was awesome. But good job, baby sibling. Good job. But anyways, sorry, private messages. But sorry, it's not my fault. Oh, I've been dying to say that. But anyways, that's pretty much it, right? That's what this card's about. It's about having a desire, having a passion for something that you really, really want. And, you know, it's believing in it. It's trusting it. Trust and believe is really, you know, it's like I said, we set the foundation. We laid the foundation of self-love. Then we built this beautiful house of self-love. And, you know, people sometimes fly flags outside of their house. Well, these flags are trust and believing. Trust and believing. Those are the flags that are sitting on your property, waving in the wind. Because that's what it's telling you to do. You have to trust and you have to believe. And when you trust and believe, whatever you're putting out there, you know, it's that desire or that passion or that thing that you want. You are putting out what you want. All right. And when you're putting it out there, you have to trust and you have to believe. So Baby Bear just said, and that's why I kind of stumbled for a second, because I love this. She said, I love your lippy shade. Absolutely love purple shades on you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I totally forgot what it's called. I think it's called Moonlit something, but they stopped making this shade. Okay. So I had to scour the internet for it because it is my favorite color. But the company that makes it stopped, I guess they stopped producing it. So whatever's left in the world is being sold by, you know, just random people. And so I was able to find 5 of them. So one's in my purse, one's on my face and in the drawer, and then the other 3 are just sitting there enjoying their freedom until it's time for them to step up to the plate. But thank you again. It's called I think it was like BLS 11 was the code, but it was NYX Moonlit Night or something. But I love it too. And I got to start using it sparingly because, you know, it was hard to find these. And I did. So I'm super duper grateful. And thank you. I love purple. It's, believe it or not, it's not my favorite color. I do love it. Don't get me wrong. It's in my top 5. But strangely enough, red is my favorite color. I know, like this deep candy apple red is my favorite color. But I don't know why I don't wear it more. But I do look. I'm going to say it. I do look good in purple. But yeah, I love this shirt. I got it from Company D, the Disney store. So, look at that. Anyways, so, you know, but like I said, I matched the card. My eyeshadow, my clothes. I should have thrown on my purple tights for good measure. But, okay, well, yeah, no, I said it. Purple's in my top 5. It's actually kind of funny because red and several various shades of blue are my favorite colors, especially like the Caribbean blue. That's my top one right now, actually. But believe it or not, blue and red make purple. So hey, you know what? It was there for the taking. But yeah, so you know what, you guys? I can ramble on all day, but just if your time and space reality has the wherewithal to inspire the desire within you, then it has the wherewithal to bring it to you. Just trust and believe. All right, trust and believe, even when it's hard. And remember, give your higher powers, the universe, your spirit guides, whatever, give them wiggle room. Okay, you may not get what your desire, specifically your desire. Sometimes you will, because if it's meant for you, but sometimes you won't, and you'll get something better. So just remember to put out there, this or something better. And yeah, this or something better, and you know, just sit back and wait for it to happen. If you sit there and watch it, it is not going to grow. Not as fast as you want it to. And you're going to start putting out the bad vibes. So just visit it once, you know, if you have to, visit it once in the morning, maybe once in the evening, maybe at lunchtime, maybe, you know, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? Do, you know, morning, noon, and night. Visit this desire of yours, put it out there, let it go. Just let it fly. Just make sure it's doing its thing and it hasn't detached from whatever you tied it to, okay? You know, just let it go. Actually, don't tie it down. I'm sorry. That's a bad thing to say. Just let it go. You know, visit it, put out the good vibes to it to help it grow. It's like watering that desire and that intention. All right? So, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you, ladies, for being on this morning. Baby Bear, it was nice to see you. I hope everybody has a wonderful, 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 wonderful day. I'll see everybody back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It is Self-Care Wednesday. Yes, it is Self-Care Wednesday. So I'll be opening up with some self-care cards. Then we'll get to card number 11 of getting into the vortex / getting into self-awareness. I don't want anyone to get confused, okay? I did read up on this. The vortex is basically just another word for self-awareness and your self-relationship. Okay, so that's why we're using this deck to decorate this house of self-love. You can also catch the show on my Facebook page, the Aloha Perspective, if you can't catch it live. And on YouTube under the Aloha Perspective with Shelley Marie Lucas. I do a short version of this where I just read it and I don't give you all my long-winded airbagginess. On TikTok under the same name, and I do share these long ones to Twitter. So you can find it everywhere. Well, not everywhere. Apparently there's a lot more social media places that I'm just becoming aware of now, but those are the main ones. All right. So again, have a wonderful, wonderful day, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging in there and for watching and for the nice compliment. And I will talk to everybody tomorrow. Have a great day.